Morning, you guys. It is time for your health check. Spring has definitely sprung, and if you suffer from seasonal allergies, I know this can be a rough time. I get it. The sniffles, the coughing, all of that stuff. The tricky part is that some allergy symptoms really are similar to COVID-19 symptoms. For instance, coughing, sore throat, fatigue, shortness of breath, even temporary loss of taste and smell. So, how can we tell these two apart? Allergists say there are a couple of telltale signs that it's likely COVID and not allergies.
With coronavirus symptoms, very frequently they'll come on with fevers. If you have a fever, it's not going to be allergies. If you have diarrhea, that's also not allergies. That's something completely different.
And Dr. Hong also says another way to decipher between allergies and COVID-19 is itching. So if your eyes, your nose, your throat, your ears itch, it is likely allergies. And by the way, if you get the same symptoms every year around the same time, yeah, that's probably allergies too. Okay, get this. 69% of millennials get their health advice from searching Google, rather than from a doctor. This is all according to a survey of more than 2,000 millennials from Harmony Healthcare IT. The survey revealed that while a majority, so 79% of millennials said they do have a primary care doctor, the top ways they find health advice ranges from WebMD to YouTube, health apps, and Reddit. Oh boy, okay. Finally, pandemic weight gain. Yeah, this is a real thing for a lot of people, okay? According to a poll by the American Psychological Association, adults under the stay-at-home orders, so that's pretty much almost all of us, right, gained more than a half pound every 10 days since quarantining. Well, that adds up, right? So it's nearly 2 pounds a month or about 20 pounds a year. When we, consider, well, was it stress or was it just the convenience of having a refrigerator there? Yes, and yes, all of that. But hey, we're going to give ourselves grace today. We're going to start working out. Don't worry, that April Cardio Fitter Together Challenge month is just around the corner.